Everyone, welcome to the show. I have a bunch of updates to share about Donald Trump and his myriad legal issues. So, first up, over the weekend, Trump filed an appeal regarding his claim that he should be immune from prosecution. As you all probably remember, the judge didn't buy that argument that he can't be charged because he was once president. So the special counsel had tried to do an end run. They tried to get the Supreme Court to weigh in on the matter so the March trial date wouldn't need to be pushed back. Well, the Supreme Court refused to hear the case. So now we're going to have to see what an appeals court has to say. I can't imagine that any court is going to side with Trump, but his appeal keeps this case in limbo. So hopefully the appeals court will fast track their decision, and then the Supreme Court will immediately decline to take the case. That would be best case scenario. So we'll see. Next is the damning news that also broke last week about a recording of Trump pressuring state officials to not certify the election in Michigan. According to the Detroit News, Trump called two Wayne County board commissioners. This happened on November 17th of 2020, and he pressured them to refuse to do their jobs. The Detroit News apparently has a copy of the recording, and in it, they say that Trump is heard telling these commissioners, the commissioners are William Hartman and Monica Palmer, and he says to them, quote, "We've got to fight for our country. We can't let these people take our country away from us." So Republican National Committee Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel was also on the call, and she told the commissioners, quote, "If you can go home tonight, do not sign it. We will get you attorneys." And then Trump agreed with that, and he said, quote, "We'll take care of that." And the major issue with this is that these commissioners had already certified the election. And then after they spoke with Trump and McDaniel, they tried to reverse their votes. So even uber conservatives, people like Karl Rove, know this is really bad for Trump. This is very bad news. Check out this clip from Fox News. Yes, Fox News, where he tells the audience what they don't want to hear.
I think the former president's got a problem with this. They had voted to certify the election. He attempted to force them to change their decision, which they tried to do. I think this is what we would call election interference. And just as he got into trouble in Georgia over a similar act, calling the Secretary of State and saying, "Find me 11,000 some odd more votes," this is a problem. The former president should not have been doing this. These people are supposedly independent officials who are supposed to certify the election based upon their review of the process and the procedures in place, and he's attempting to get them to change their opinion after the fact. This is not a good move if accurate, and if this tape is true. The former president's created another problem for himself.
So, yeah, possibly the first time faux news viewers are hearing the truth about his coup case. Anyway, it sure sounds like McDaniel needs to lawyer up because, she could be on the hook for state and federal crimes. She's listed as a potential witness in the Georgia RICO case, but she could end up being a co-defendant. I mean, if stuff like this keeps coming out, you never know. And there was a news outlet that went out and they spoke with Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel. And she said she wasn't even aware of this recording until the media reported it last week. So it'll be very interesting to see if they file charges against Trump or McDaniel or both. They've already indicted 16 of Trump's fake electors in that state. Next up is news about Trump's upcoming E. Jean Carroll trial. This is going to be the second trial with Carroll, but this was the first lawsuit that she brought against him for defamation. And Trump's attorneys are desperately trying to get one witness booted from the proceedings. They are trying to prevent Dr. Ashley Humphreys from testifying. Humphreys is the professor who just recently testified in the Rudy Giuliani trial that resulted in a $148 million judgment against him. So she is slated to testify in the Carroll trial against Trump. So Trump's legal team is freaking out. They claim that Humphreys has overestimated damages and that her methods are unreliable. Clearly, they're terrified that the jury is going to slap Trump with an enormous judgment. And Isn't it ironic, don't you think, that Trump, of all people, he is complaining about unreliable estimates about various things? Yeah. I also have some funny news to share about another complaint lodged by Trump's attorneys. So, as I mentioned earlier, Trump's coup case is on hold pending his appeal about his so called presidential immunity. Well, evidently, the special counsel's office sent a bunch of discovery material over to Trump's legal team, and Trump's legal team is whining about it to the judge. They claim that Jack Smith's team violated the court ordered stay in this case by sending them these documents. They wrote that the special counsel, quote, improperly and unlawfully attempted to advance this case by serving thousands of pages of additional discovery, as well as draft exhibit list. Such maneuvers are exactly what the stay order forbids and impose a significant and prohibited burden on President Trump. First of all, not president. He's not the president. Some would argue he never was, really. Second, burden. It's a burden on him to receive documents. Wah. Boo effing who? Thoughts and prayers. I don't really care. Do you? I mean, this is the legal equivalent of like, Mom, he's touching me. Tell him to stop touching me. I mean, that's what it sounds like. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I will keep you posted on all of this, but they are as much of whiny babies, it appears, as their client. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if possible. Love you. Take care. Talk with you soon.